So, greetings everybody. I am Ariel Joseph F. Santos, and now we are going to tackle about the story of John Smith when he was captured by the Open Kankano or Powhatan's Confederacy. Allow me to introduce to you our protagonist, which is John Smith. He was an English soldier, explorer, and an author who played a key role in the establishment of the Jamestown colony in Virginia in the early 1600s. So, Jamestown Colony, it was the first permanent English settlement in North America, who was brought and led by John Smith. Now let's know where is John Smith famous for. He is famous for his leadership in Jamestown, helping the colony survive early struggles with starvation and conflict. Later on, we will discover more of this conflict. And he is also famous for his detailed writings and maps of Virginia and New England. And the story of being captured by Powhatan Confederacy and supposedly saved by Pocahontas. The names that are mentioned, later on we will have more details about them. Now let's talk about Open Kankano. He was the one that led the capture of our protagonist. So Open Kankano, he was a powerful chief of Powhatan Confederacy, a group of Algonquian speaking tribes in what is now Virginia. Now let's proceed to Powhatan. He was the powerful chief of Powhatan Confederacy, a large group of Native American tribes. Supposedly there are 30 tribes included in this confederacy in what is now in what is now Eastern Virginia at the time of English colonization in the early 1600s. So Powhatan is the one that holds the highest level of supremacy in the tribe. And he is also the one that Open Kankano brought James Smith to. Now let's know about Pocahontas. Pocahontas in this picture, we can see that we can say that she is a grown woman already. But in the story, she was 12 years old or not yet in the legal age. So Pocahontas was a Native American woman best known for her association with the English colonist John Smith and the Jamestown settlement in Virginia. She is one of the most famous figures from the early American history. Now that we know the major characters in this story, let us now know more about the historical context. So it was said earlier that the establishment of Jamestown had been founded in May 16th century. And the settlers were struggling with starvation, disease, poor leadership, and conflicts with the native tribes. And also John Smith was one of the colony's early leaders and was out exploring and trading for food when he was captured in December 16th century. There are also English Native American tensions. There were frequent misunderstanding and rising tensions between the English settlers and the Powhatan Confederacy, which was a powerful alliance of over 30 tribes. The English relied on Native Americans for food and survival, but also began to demand resources and expand, which led to the conflict. Leadership shift and internal conflict. At the time of Smith's capture, leadership within Jamestown was unstable. Many of the colony's initial leaders were unprepared for the challenges of the New World. Smith's capture and release occurred during a time when he was gaining influence among the settlers for his practical survival skills and ability to interact with the native tribes. Pocahontas' youth and role. Pocahontas, the daughter of Chief Powhatan, was around 10 to 12 years old. So here, we can see that Pocahontas was around 10 to 12 years old. But in the picture or in the Disney, in terms of the movie that Disney created, she doesn't look like 10 to 12 years old. And she also became a symbolic figure in colonial native relations. She would later play a diplomatic role, bringing food to the settlers and easing tensions. Smith's later writings. John Smith wrote about his capture years later in his General History of Virginia. By then, he had returned to England and was promoting colonization efforts. His writing often exaggerated or dramatized events to inspire and interest support. Now let's have the summary of this story. In December 16th century, Captain John Smith, an English explorer and leader of the Jamestown colony, sets out on an expedition to explore the Chickahominy River in Virginia. While separated from his companions, he is ambushed and captured by Powhatan warriors, which was led by Open Kankano, a prominent native leader. And then Smith is taken through various villages where the native people are curious about him. Eventually, he is brought to Werowocomoco, the capital village of the Powhatan Confederacy, to meet Chief Powhatan himself. There, a dramatic ceremony takes place. According to Smith's later account, he is laid down with his head on 2 stones and warriors prepare to execute him with clubs. Suddenly, Pocahontas, Chief Powhatan's young daughter, rushes in and places her head over Smith's, begging her father to spare his life. Moved by her plea, Powhatan spares Smith and instead tells him he will be adopted as a son and become a part of the tribe. Smith is eventually released and returns to Jamestown, where he continues to play a key role in the colony's survival. Now, let's discover some of the literacy elements that we can see in this story. First is first-person point of view. Smith narrates the events of his own perspective, which gives personal and subjective tone. For example, he describes his feeling of fear and awe during the ceremony. Another thing is imagery. Vivid descriptions of native villages, ceremonies, and people help readers to picture the scene. Example, the image of Smith, head laid upon 2 stones with warriors ready to strike, is intense and visual. One more is symbolism. The rescue by Pocahontas symbolizes hope, cross-cultural connection, or divine intervention, depending on interpretation. The ceremony may symbolize Smith's ritual adoption into the tribe and not an execution. So later, we will have more of the details about this thought, which says that Smith's ritual adoption into the tribe is not an execution but an adoption. Then conflict, man versus man, Smith versus his captors, man versus society, Smith navigating the alien world of native customs, and then man versus nature, the wilderness, and survival outside Jamestown. And then myth making, Smith may have embellished or invented parts of the story, especially the Pocahontas rescue, to build his own legend. Then the narrative helped shape on the earliest American myths of origin. Later, we will also have a discussion about why Smith invented parts of the story. Now, let's have some of the historical context of the work. English imperialism and expansion. Smith's narrative served to promote colonization and justify English presence in Virginia. His rescue by Pocahontas frames the encounter as symbolic acceptance of English settlers by the native people, which may have helped encourage investment and support for colonial expansion. So this is another reason of why James Smith invented some parts of the story to encourage investment and support for colonial expansion. Another thing is the Eurocentric perspective. Native Americans are often romanticized or misunderstood. The rescue by Pocahontas may reflect more of a European ideal of the noble savage than an accurate portrayal of Powhatan customs. So here, religious and moral undertones, although subtle in this piece, early colonial writings often viewed events as divinely guided. So, it was somehow viewed as divinely guided, or God's protection of John Smith intervened during his execution. Now, for my personal insight, Smith wants readers to see him as someone who remains calm and strategic even in the face of death, reflecting the ideal qualities of a colonial leader. For the textual evidence, I told them I was the commander of that place and they had done me too much wrong to save my life. This line shows how Smith positions himself as a figure of authority even while captured. He maintains dignity and appeals to reason, reinforcing his image as a strong and capable leader. I think here we can say that Smith is building an image for himself to gain, no? To gain more investment for his plans and for his uh, goals of colonizing. And here we can see pride. He is also building a pride for himself. Another one is Smith's survival may have depended not just on bravery, but on how he later framed the story to gain status and promote colonization here. For the textual evidence, Smith's entire narrative is filled with self-promotion, highlighting how he was spared, honored, and seen as valuable by Powhatan. His story was published years later in the General History of Virginia, showing how retelling events in a heroic light serve both personal and nationalistic purposes. So here we can confirm that Smith is building or is inventing stories so for his own uh, gain, no? Now, can we relate this story to contemporary issues? First is contemporary connection. Smith likely misunderstood a native ritual. So earlier I have mentioned that Smith was captured, no, by Open Kankano and brought to the highest authority, which is Powhatan. And they believe that Smith misunderstood the native ritual as a rescue from execution. Today, misunderstandings between cultures still happen, especially when people interpret others' tradition through their own cultural lens. So why does it matter? The highlight So why does it matter now? This highlights the need for cultural awareness and respectful interpretation of other traditions, an issue central to global communication, diplomacy, and education today. For instance, some journalists, when they travel a certain rural area and they try to document the lives of a specific tribe, they tend to misunderstand the some of their rituals and traditions. As viewers, we have also the tendency to judge them or to place them into a wrong judgment. Historical bias and narrative control. So since John Smith wrote this story from his perspective or in first person point of view, Smith wrote his accounts years later and possibly exaggerated or romanticized part of the story, especially the role of Pocahontas. So why does it matter now? Modern society continues to confront how history has been written by those in power, often minimizing and misrepresenting the voices of indigenous people, minorities, and women. This ties into current debates about whose stories are told, how story is taught, and the need to include multiple perspectives. So in the Philippines, we can also find this contemporary issue, no? When big companies tries to invade places that belongs to indigenous people, and in the media, it was the indigenous people that take the place of evil, takes the place of the one who is wrong. So more of the indigenous representation and stereotyping. Pocahontas is often portrayed as a symbol of peace and cooperation, but her story was simplified and romanticized in both Smith's account and modern media, like Disney. Why does it matter now? There's an ongoing movement to correct the portrayal of indigenous people, challenge harmful stereotypes, and acknowledge the real experience of native communities, especially regarding colonization and cultural loss. So, colonization and its legacy. Smith's narrative supports the idea of English superiority and justified colonization by framing the native people as either noble allies or obstacle to civilization. Today, we critically examine the long-term impacts of colonization and including land dispossession, cultural erasure, and systematic inequalities faced by indigenous population around the world. So another example here is some tribes here in the Philippines, because some big companies sees them as an obstacle for civilization. And the power of storytelling, contemporary connection. Smith's version of his captured shaped early American identity. It shows how stories influence national memory, politics, and culture. So why does it matter now? In today's world of social media and global media, who tells the story and how is more important than ever. There is an increasing call to challenge dominant narratives and uplift historically silenced voices. Here, now, moral or philosophical implications. The nature of cultural encounter and understanding. Smith's capture and the alleged rescue raise questions about how different cultures interpret each other's action. Are we capable of truly understanding the other? Or are all cross-cultural interactions filtered through our own biases and frameworks? The story challenges us to consider the importance of empathy and humility when encountering unfamiliar cultures instead of imposing our own values and judgment. Power, mercy, and leadership. The dramatic moment when Pocahontas intervenes invites reflection on mercy as a form of power. True leadership may involve compassion and forgiveness rather than domination. This suggests that moral strength is not just about physical power or authority, but the ability to spare and protect others, even enemies. Survival and adaptation. Smith's experience reflects the human instinct to survive in hostile environments, suggesting a tension between adaptation and authenticity. How much should one change to survive in another culture? This raises questions about identity and integrity in cross-cultural situations. When survival demands compromise, what do we lose or gain? So that's the end of my discussion. I hope I did well. Thank you, sir, for giving me a chance to submit this video. Thank you, sir. This is AJ Santos, reporting in duty.